alert, fraud alert.
Well, hello everyone, this is Heather Pickin and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to overcome imposter syndrome using subconscious techniques. And do me a favor, if you like this video, make sure that you smash that bell.
Oh yeah, I gotta smash it.
Smash it.
I don't know exactly how you're going to smash it, but that's what I hear all the cool kids are doing.
Smash the bell.
Because that is how you will be notified with upcoming videos. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. It does something to the YouTube algorithm, so more people just like you find videos exactly like this. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about the imposter syndrome and what that is. Well, it really is, the definition is about feeling inadequate, having some feelings of self-doubt that can leave people like they feel like a fraud.
Fraud alert, fraud alert.
You know what's interesting is this phrase has been really adopted more for women, particularly in their work lives. So I have worked with a lot of women, and I can tell you this is true. It's also true for men. I have worked with some very powerful CEOs, and you would think they have it all together. I will tell you they don't. Who typically has imposter syndrome? People that define themselves as high achievers like myself, type A people, CEOs, high-level executives, entrepreneurs, startup to seasoned entrepreneurs. I have so many stories that I can share with you. Clients that I've worked with throughout the years that are wildly successful, and as they climb that next level in their business, guess what? They feel like a fraud. Let's sound those fraud alert bells. Also, a little fun fact here is that people may feel like they have the imposter syndrome if things come very easily to them. Isn't that interesting? So first, let's talk about where this comes from on a subconscious level. From the age of 0 to 7, I've said this in many videos, this is where most of your beliefs take form. And you might say 0, yes, even in the womb, you are picking up on your mother's consciousness. Now, one of the reasons why women identify with the imposter syndrome the most, if you have been raised to be a perfectionist, a people pleaser, you know, that little princess, even if you're male and you're watching this, if you grew up in a household where you had to be perfect at something, maybe you tried to do something, it didn't really go well, your parents might say, well,
Oh, that was wrong. Or who are you to think that you could do anything that you want?
and then what happens is you start forming this identity. Your identity becomes your reality. You may want to tattoo that in your mind. You also might find that you stop yourself if you identify with this label, feeling like an imposter, because you were taught to be perfect every single time in your career, in your business, in every area of your life, if you identify with being a perfectionist. So first off, I want to talk about the benefits and the drawbacks of having this syndrome, this imposter syndrome. What would be the benefits? Now, I know that sounds really strange. The benefit would actually mean that you kind of humble yourself. If you've ever done something in your business or in your life where you're full of pride, someone or something was there to basically squash you, can you see how being more humble is actually a benefit? We can also see this, the opposite, as a drawback in imposing the label of this imposter. So what is the drawback? It could really hold you back in income in your business or in your career. It could also hold you back in relationships. If you don't value yourself in a relationship, you're going to keep attracting the same people, but just in a different name, right? A different form. Another benefit of breaking through that imposter syndrome is that it will transform every single area of your life. Now, the opposite, the drawback, it keeps you in that holding pattern. I find a lot of people that really internalize that label of the imposter syndrome, and everyone has it to some degree. But if you really internalize it and you create it as your identity, what happens is that there's a lot of mind chatter. So in my videos, I talk about the mental real estate of your mind and how you need to have a balanced mind thinking, embracing both the negative thoughts and the positive thoughts. I did a video on the benefit of negative thinking. Check out the link below. Another thing I want to say about the imposter syndrome. Did you know all levels, as I mentioned before, CEOs, high-powered executives, have felt this at one time? A lot of people. Now, I am not you, so I'm not going to vouch for yourself. But I will tell you, I've worked with very high-powered people, very successful people, and I have seen them have this at all different levels. So why is that important to you? It's important to you if you've got goals, you've got dreams, that you don't want to diminish yourself. You don't want to elevate someone because they're a CEO or a high-level executive and put yourself in the pit. I want you to see yourself as equal, striving to become that high-level thinker, that high achiever. So when you start understanding that, wow, even high-powered CEOs feel like they are an imposter sometimes. And why is that? Well, if you don't know how to jump through those next levels in your mind and breaking through those illusions, and they're just illusions, they're perceptions. That's why I don't like to identify with labels at all. I like to transcend those labels by using neuroscience and my method called the vision method that uses cutting edge science to help you to rewire your brain. When you can do that, you start looking at your life in a different way. You start embracing even what would be a perceived downside if something you feel is challenging. So knowing how to balance your mind at the same time is like having a superpower. Let's talk about the strategies, the subconscious strategies that will help you to break that perception, that illusion in your mind, because everything that we do is really about creating a perception. We will label something as either good or bad. And guess what? Nothing is good or bad until we put it in a value system. We start judging it. We could get really extreme here, but I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to tell you, your perceptions create your reality. If you want to change this imposter syndrome, if you want to go to the next level in your business, I will work with a lot of entrepreneurs from startups to CEOs that are wildly successful. And what I do is I help them to transform this. One of the very first things that you can do is visualization. Now, why visualization? But visualization is so powerful. Your subconscious mind doesn't know what's real or what's not real. And it is through the repetition of visualizing an end result, a scene in your mind. Imagine a mental screen on your mind and focusing on that end result. I know it may sound crazy. They have used visualization techniques and strategies for Olympic athletes. So why would you not want to visualize your own outcome so that you could be more confident? What I love teaching in the vision method is showing, whether a person is a startup or a highly successful executive or CEO, how to really transcend those labels, breaking through those illusions. And it starts with your perceptions. So being able to visualize over and over again will help to change those connections in your brain. Your brain is neuroplastic, and what that means is that your brain can literally remodel itself in milliseconds. I know that sounds crazy, but according to neuroscience, we can absolutely do that. And a lot of people, they don't do it because they don't understand the benefits and they don't have the right techniques and strategies. How do you do this mental visualization? What I would recommend is think about an event right now or a situation that you feel like an imposter, okay? It's coming up. You get that imposter syndrome.
Warning, danger.
So did you get it? You got the opposite of what you don't want, or you're focusing on what you don't want. Now what I want you to do is to focus on that end result of how you see the situation playing out. What is that positive outcome? And how do you want to feel? You create that as a mental visualization over and over again, over and over again. I've done so many videos on visualization. Very simple, but yet most people don't do it. And then they wonder why they keep having imposter syndrome. It is through the repetition of visualization that will help you to reprogram your subconscious mind. Imagine if you were an Olympic athlete. I used to be a swimmer. My specialty was fly. I did the fly. Does that look like a fly? I can't do it in this. I can't do it in this. It's actually a dress. I can't do it in this. So I'm going to go like this. I did the fly. I didn't realize I was doing this at a very young age. I would see myself in the race before I did the race. And I noticed that I would improve. I never won like first place. I didn't really understand what I was doing back then, but I did get most improved. The second subconscious strategy is creating an identity shift. An identity shift is really thinking about where you're at. Okay, you can't change anything you're not aware of. Where are you identifying right now as an imposter? Okay, what are some of the beliefs that are attached to it? What is the new identity that you must come into? You must be able to break through that illusion, that perception in your mind in order to get there. Who is that person? Tell me about that person. Once you start creating an identity shift, I get really into this, when I teach my vision method intensive class, we go through identity shifting. We go through the model of reality of what you're dealing with right now in your subconscious mind. In your subconscious, you know how you tell what's going on in your subconscious mind? Is your outer reality. And I don't believe in willpower, because when you know how to program that internal thermostat of your mind, your outer reality will shift. So you have to create an internal shift through your identity of how you see yourself. If you keep labeling yourself as an imposter, what do you think is going to happen?
I'm an imposter. I'm an imposter.
Now, there's nothing wrong with having those feelings come up like you're an imposter. Remember, I talked about the benefits of actually identifying with that, but you never want to stay there. You want to transform and transcend that label, and you do that through your perception. I hope these strategies are helpful for you. I'm so excited to announce I have another group that I'm starting with the Vision Method Intensive. If you are interested, make sure you click on below to apply for one of my sessions. I will also have my new vision journals available soon. If you are interested in those, I just want to show you really quick, and I'll do a video about this later, not now. This is a hardcover vision journal. This thing is sturdy. We have put in hundreds of hours designing this, redesigning it. It is not cheap. And what I mean by that is the construction is rock solid. It has this beautiful logo that is part of one of my designed patents that has everything to do with rewiring your brain. It's kind of, I've got some secret sauce in my intensive and also in my structured edition. So the structured editions, which is this prototype, it is going to be launched very soon. So if you want to get on the wait list, make sure you comment below, or you can go to email support@heatherpicken.com, and I will put you on the wait list so that you can have one of these soon. Until next time, this is Heather Picken, and live fearlessly.